What's up YouTube, this is GalacticGod and I'm coming at you now with another deck profile. Today I'm bringing you Batteryman. Now ever since the release of Duelist Alliance, this has been a deck that I have been testing out and playing and having a great deal of fun with. Not only is this deck pretty budget friendly, but it's actually pretty competitive as well. It can more or less keep up with a lot of the big decks of the format. On top of that, there's a lot of different variations of the deck floating around, but most importantly, at least to me, it is fun as hell to play. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into my version of Batteryman. Alright, so we are of course playing 3 copies of Batteryman 9V. This guy is more or less the Stratos of the deck. Whenever you summon him, you get to add 1 Batteryman from your deck to your hand. He also gets a nice little attack boost out of that as well. The only downside, and in some ways is kind of the plus side, is that he's destroyed during the end phase of your turn. Next up, we have 3 Batteryman Microcell. It is an old school but pretty awesome card. Whenever this guy's flipped, you get to special summon 1 level 4 lower Batteryman from your deck to the field. So of course you're going to want to summon that Batteryman 9V so you can get another search off of him. Plus, when Microcell is destroyed by battle after he's been flipped, you get to draw a card, so an extra little added bonus. Next up, we have 3 Batteryman Charger. Whenever Batteryman Charger is normal summoned, you get to special summon 1 Batteryman from your deck to the field. The great thing about his effect is it does not have to be a level 4 lower Batteryman, it could be anyone except for himself. Next up, we have 3 of the Batteryman Fuel Cell. This card is similar to Fall Troll in the fact that you can special summon them from your hand if you control 2 or more Batteryman type monsters, which may sound kind of hard, but is actually not that difficult to accomplish. Plus, he's got an extra little added effect where you contribute another Batteryman monster to bounce one of your opponent's cards back to their hand. Finally, we have 2 copies of Batteryman Industrial Strength. He is kind of our BLS of the deck. You can remove 2 Batteryman monsters from your graveyard to special summon him. Plus, he's got a really awesome effect. Once per turn, you can remove 1 Thunder monster from your graveyard to destroy 1 monster and 1 spell and trap card on the field. Next, since we're playing so many light monsters, I've decided to tech in an Honest. There's nothing more amusing to me than leaving my Batteryman Microcell in attack mode, my opponent trying to crash over it, and I just kill him with an Honest. And then finally, I'm playing 2 copies of Caius the Shadow Monarch. Tribute summoning is really easy in the deck, especially with some of the spell cards that we have. And Caius is a good answer to a lot of problematic cards that exist in this format. Alright, and that's going to do it for the monsters. Alright, so for spells, we're playing 3 of the Monarch Stormforth. This is another one of the new cards from Duelist Alliance that really gave Batteryman the oomph that they needed. Next up, we have 2 Pot of Dualities. We don't always special summon each and every turn. A lot of the times, we're just setting up for that big OTK push. Whether that be searching for a Microcell or a 9V so we can get our engine going, sometimes Pot of Duality can be very handy. Next, we have 2 Soul Charges, pretty self-explanatory. Soul Charge is usually the only time that I go into the extra deck is when I bring out a lot of different Batteryman, then I have a lot of interesting levels on the field. I can make some pretty crazy Exceed plays at that point. We have 2 Mystical Space Typhoons because Vanity's Emptiness and Fiendish Chain are both pretty relevant cards of this format, and we definitely want to get rid of those when they could pop up. We have 1 Dark Hole, and then finally 1 Short Circuit. A lot of people consider this pretty much a win more card, but any card out there where you can destroy all cards on your opponent's field is pretty good in my opinion, and definitely worth at least 1 slot in my deck. And that's going to do it for the spells. So for traps, we're playing 3 Call of the Haunteds. This allows us to get back our 9V on our opponent's turn after they've been destroyed on ours, and just keep grabbing more cards after more cards. We have 2 copies of Fiendish Chain, 2 copies of Breakthrough Skill, 2 copies of Trap Stun, Bottomless, Compulse, and then finally a Solemn Warning rounding up the last bit of the traps. Alright, so for the extra deck, it's more or less irrelevant as we don't go into it that much unless we're making some kind of a Soul Charge play. But when we do, and there is the opportunities every once in a while to go into it, these are the cards I like to play. We have Evilswarm Exciton Knight, number 101, Castile the Skyblaster Musketeer, number 80, Gaga Cowboy, Diamond Dire Wolf, Black Ship of Corn, Abyss Dweller, Daigusto Emerald, Lavavel Chain. That's going to round up the rank 4s. And then we also have 1 rank 5, number 61, Volcasaurus. Almost never go into this card, but the opportunity does exist, so why not have him in there? For rank 6, we have both Gauntlet Launcher and Photon Strike Bouncer. And for rank 8, we have the Heliopolis and Divine Dragon Felgran. Okay. Alright, so quick little wombo combo time. For this, all you're going to need is 2 cards, and you can get off a pretty crazy play. If you happen to draw a Batteryman 9V and a Call of the Haunted in your opening hand, you can complete this weird, crazy combo. You're going to start things off actually by summoning your Batteryman 9V. This will allow you to go ahead and grab Batteryman Charger and add it to your hand. Then you're going to go ahead and set your Call of the Haunted. And then Batteryman 9V is destroyed during the end phase. Then during your opponent's end phase, you're going to go ahead and play Call of the Haunted, thus bringing back your Batteryman 9V. And this time, you're going to grab a Batteryman Fuel Cell and add it to your hand. Now your 9V is not destroyed during your opponent's end phase, so it stays alive until your next turn. At which point, you can go ahead and tribute your 9V for your Charger. Charger's effect will kick in, allowing you to search out and special summon another 9V, which will allow you to grab another Fuel Cell. Now you can go ahead and special summon both your fuel cells to the field, and you actually have over 8k worth of damage sitting here. So at this point you can either attack for a massive amount of damage, or if you happen to draw your short circuit somewhere within that time frame, so if your opponent has nothing to stop you, you can play that, destroy your opponent's field, and then attack for game. Alright YouTube, and there you have it. This was my Batteryman deck profile. Now I do know there is a lot of other variations of the deck, ones that involve artifacts or the Hunders, and I've even seen a couple of good ones that utilize the hand engine. But for my personal playstyle and preference, this is kind of the variation that I like. So in the comment section below, remember let me know what you think of my build. Any suggestions on ways that it can be improved is always most welcome. And I guess that's going to do it for now. This is GalacticGod, out.